Okay, all set.
Thank you, Barb. So welcome, everybody. I am calling to order the July 13th, 2020 meeting of the Operations Work Group. We have two items on our agenda tonight. First, we are talking about cash flow for the 2020-2021 school year. There will be an action item on our August general board meeting that we will need to vote on because we don't have an operations work group meeting scheduled for August. We're getting an overview of this action item at this month's meeting. The second item is, again, another one we're going to have to vote on, but a proposed revision to Board Policy 5111, which is our transportation policy, and this is specifically to accommodate the change in middle school start times. So with that overview, I will hand things over to Kelly.
Thank you, Chris. Yes, so I'm here tonight to ensure you have all the information you need getting ready for a vote on August 31st. Knowing you might not have all your questions ready for tonight, please know that I'm here and available for you over the next month as we do get ready to vote on a TRAN. So at the regular August 31st board meeting, you'll be asked to vote on what is called the resolution to award the sale of a tax revenue anticipation note, or what we call a TRAN. We do this every year, as do most school districts across the state. The reason why school districts need what we call a TRAN is it's a short-term borrowing, and we need to do it to bridge the gap, the timing gap, between our revenues and our expenditures. In school districts, our expenditures at the beginning of the year far outpace the revenues that we receive. We receive the majority of our revenues in the second half of the year. So we need to borrow on a short-term basis in order to fund payroll and other opening of the year expenses. And then when our revenues come in, the second half of the year, we repay off that loan as we finish off the school year, and then we repeat the cycle again the next year. This year, we are doing it just a tad bit early. We did it in September last year, and this year we're going to do it in August. A couple of reasons for that. The real primary reason is that our Mondays in September fall a little different, and it kind of just cuts us a little too close in timing. So regardless of COVID-19, I probably would have been asking you to vote a month early this year. But also in addition to just that timing of where Mondays fall in September, we have had some delays in receiving funding due to property tax collection being later due to the COVID-19 decisions at the city and county level. So it also just kind of behooves us to borrow a little bit earlier this year. Other than that, no changes in our actual process. The way this looks is between now and the end of August, I work with our financial advisor, who is PMA Securities. I work with our bond counsel, who is Corals and Grady, and our rating agency, who's Standard & Poor's. They're all experts in the bonding process. Standard & Poor's will look at our financial statements. They interview myself along with some of the members of my team, and they will give us a rating. That rating then determines what our bond, what we as a district will look like when we hit the market. We are currently an S&P 1+, which is a very good rating for a school district. We anticipate remaining an S&P 1+, but of course we're going to have to answer questions regarding the impact of COVID and our sustainability financially throughout the next couple of years. So like I said, I do expect that we'll remain 1+ at the end of that process. When I come to you at the end of August, we will already have gone to the market. So I will have the results of the bid themselves in front of you by that August 31st board meeting. I will share the results with you as soon as I have them the morning of the 31st. We have to do the bid and the vote very close in timing because we don't have a lot of time to confirm from the market that we accepted the bid. So we do the bid the morning of the 31st. I get the results, I send them to you, and you vote. So the 31st is a pretty busy and exciting day for me before I come and present to you. I expect right now that we'll be doing a $70 million TRAN this year. Last year it was $68 million, but it is still $70 million would still be lower than a number of our historical rates. Back in 2018, for example, we were at 72 million. I am kind of at this point looking at 70 million as a mark, largely due to unknowns around COVID-19. We still are expecting revenue losses, which is primarily cash in from MSER. We're expecting revenue losses from food service, as we talked about in detail back in June. Those are direct receipts of cash that we're used to receiving. In addition to that, we expect that we'll be short on a number of other fee collections throughout the year. And so my current estimate is 70 million. If that changes at all, of course, I will let you know between now and the end of August, but I don't anticipate that at this moment in time. So that is essentially my summary. What you can expect after I answer your questions tonight, I get to work building our cash flow statement, finalizing that, going in front of Standard & Poor's, doing the rating. You will know as soon as we have our rating results, and getting ready for our market on August 31st. So any questions that you have, I'll take them now, or I'll be happy to take them all the way through August.
Are there any questions for Kelly? Not seeing anyone's hand. I do have one question, Kelly, and that is in relation to the operating referendum. Should that pass, that's an extra $6 million in expenses over the course of the school year that we potentially could take if we want to. Like, we don't have to levy to that maximum, but we could. And given that, the cash flow situation, we might be spending some of that $6 million before the tax levy comes in, just like all of our expenses. Is the loan adequate to cover our budget with or without a passing operating referendum?
Yeah, very good question. That is one of the items that's in my analysis. I kind of have two versions where I was looking at numbers, a kind of passing potential referendum and a non-passing. So yeah, I do believe it is. These numbers clearly still wait on information kind of from the state too, and have to make some assumptions. At this point, I think it's where we are. But if we do change it all between now and August, because as we all know, the environment keeps changing faster than we can keep up with these days. Obviously, I will let you know. We'll be happy to come back in front of the board if we need to. But I think 70 million is the right place to be based on what we know. And I have taken into account multiple considerations as to what direction we might go in over the next 2 months together.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? All right, well, Kelly, I want to thank you for being on top of this and being super organized, as well as being really flexible in a very, very uncertain revenue scenario. So thank you. And I think we can wrap this up and move on to the next agenda item, which is our transportation policy changes.
And Mike Herding's actually going to take the lead on this one for us.
All right, take it away, Mike.
Hello, everybody. Oops, I'm mute. Can you hear me? Yeah, hi, everybody. Always good to see you. So you know that we've completed our first year of implementation of the middle school start times. And so we'll be upcoming the second year, happy to move forward with that work. The board policy previously talked about information with respect to the transportation by Madison Metro for middle school students. And we are moving off of that to provide yellow bus transportation for our middle school students. And so this just updates the policy to accurately reflect the change in middle school start times. Nikki?
Chair, may I ask the question quick?
Mike, is that okay, or would you rather just hold questions until the end? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Just go ahead.
My quick question is, it says it also includes charter and magnet schools. Those are our charter and magnet schools, or are those two X charter and magnet? How do we do that?
Well, and I'll rely on Sherry for this, but with respect to Badger Rock, we went a little bit further in providing, recommended providing Metro bus passes for those students. So we wouldn't want to not do that.
No, I want to do that. I wanted to make sure they're covered. didn't know I know that with Maria Goretti, they were suing on bus service, and I didn't want to affect that lawsuit.
Yeah, this updates that and to align with our actual work. I don't know if that makes sense. There's minor changes. It just changes it from yellow bus being K5 to, or 4K to grade 8. Not a lot of changes other than just the grade levels in the policy. Are there other questions from board members?
I can't see everybody right now, so if you have a question, please speak up.
You want me to stop sharing?
Sure.
Okay.
Are there any questions?
Thank you, everybody.
If people have questions between now and the end of the month, what's the deadline for getting them to you, Mike?
Well, you could bring them at briefings or just by email before that end of that week.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this may be the shortest meeting of the year. But that's all we have on the agenda tonight. So if there are no other questions, would someone like to move to adjourn? Ollie moved. Any second?
Second.
Thanks, Nikki. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Julia?
Any opposed? All right, the meeting is adjourned at a record-setting 6:06 p.m. Go out and enjoy your evening with the mask on.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.